Hello, everyone. Today, we will discuss a topic that not everyone dares to talk about, but is extremely important for the health and life of women over 60. You might never have thought that seemingly harmless habits, even a natural part of life, could be silently harming your body. Have you ever thought that masturbation is just a personal act and harmless? But if you don't change your approach, it can have serious impacts on your sexual health, emotions, and mental state. In today's video, I will share 7 very common mistakes that women over 60 make when taking care of themselves. These mistakes, which you might not even realize, are quietly damaging both your body and your spirit. Join me as we explore these secrets and how you can protect your health, maintain confidence, and still enjoy life, even if your age is no longer what it used to be. If this story sounds familiar, or if you want to find better ways to care for yourself, don't miss this video, because the advice shared here might change how you see your body. Surely, you've often felt changes in your body. Perhaps you've had moments when you wondered, am I still a real woman? These questions might come quietly, gently, but carry with them an indescribable worry. I vividly remember a 72-year-old woman who came to see me. She looked at me with confusion in her eyes and asked, "Can I still do the things I used to do? Can I still feel the same way?" That question broke my heart, because she was not the only one with such concerns. In reality, as we age, our bodies change. Desire, arousal, might not be like it was when we were younger, and this makes many women anxious, as if they've lost something important. They feel less attractive, less feminine. But I want to tell you that this is just the natural change in the body. There is nothing wrong with it. Arousal is no longer the only factor to measure satisfaction or pleasure. Our bodies change, and if you understand that these changes don't mean you lose your femininity or the ability to feel, you will feel much more at ease. When we were young, our bodies responded quickly to sexual stimuli. Blood circulated well, secretions were abundant, and everything happened naturally, effortlessly. But as age increases, especially after 60, bodily changes, particularly the decline in estrogen, affect lubrication, reduce blood circulation, and make the body less responsive than before. And this is completely normal, not the end of your sexual or emotional life. You don't need to worry that you no longer feel like you did at 25. In fact, you can still experience satisfaction and deep connection. It just takes more time, attention, and patience. I want you to understand that these changes don't mean your body is broken or worthless. Your body is still whole, still capable of feeling, but the way you experience it might have changed. The important thing is not whether you respond the same as before, but whether you can find a new way, a new style of intimacy, sexuality, and connection with yourself. Don't fall into the trap of, "I have to be like before," because that will only lead to disappointment and insecurity. Instead, allow yourself to explore new experiences with patience and self-love. So, the important thing now is not how to feel like when I was young, but how to enjoy satisfaction with the new changes in my body and mind. The feeling may no longer come easily or automatically as before, but it can become deeper and more meaningful when you stop chasing perfection, simply live in the moment, accept what is present, and enjoy each second. I am sure that when you change this approach, you will find the joy of life again, the joy of intimate moments with yourself. And this will not only help you live more fully, but also make you feel like the vibrant, lovable, and seductive woman you are, even after a long journey. I remember once, a 78-year-old woman named Brenda came to see me because she felt she couldn't feel anything anymore. She told me that it wasn't just in sex, but even her general feelings in life were dull. At first, she thought the problem was her physical health. But through our conversation, I realized it wasn't just that. She admitted she still masturbated regularly every night, but she didn't do it for desire. For her, it had become a habit, a way to cope with loneliness, fatigue, and sometimes even unspoken sadness. You may think that masturbation is just a physical act, but the truth is different. Especially for older women, masturbation is not just about sexual satisfaction. It plays a bigger role in reconnecting with your emotions and spirit. As we age, our bodies no longer respond automatically like they did when we were young, but that doesn't mean we no longer need intimacy or connection with ourselves. On the contrary, we need it more. Psychologists have pointed out that after orgasm, the body releases a large amount of substances like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. These substances not only help reduce stress, but also promote feelings of safety and happiness. In fact, for many women, especially those living alone, masturbation becomes the only way to regain peace, connection, and even control in their lives. Truly, it's not about sex, but about finding peace. It's how they heal their souls. However, what many don't realize is that when this act is done unconsciously, just to overcome a feeling of sadness or emptiness without being aware of our true emotions, we can fall into a vicious cycle. This feeling can become dull, meaningless, and gradually lose the ability to deeply connect with ourselves. At that point, masturbation is no longer a healthy act, but a way to escape emotions. It is important to be fully aware of your actions. When we do it with full attention, presence, and understanding, this act becomes a way to heal, to release tension, and to connect with our true emotions. It can become a powerful psychological experience and part of maintaining neurological health, an essential factor in self-care as we age. When Brenda realized this, she changed her approach to masturbation. She no longer did it out of habit, but with presence, attention, and self-love. Gradually, she no longer felt empty. She reconnected with her emotions, and those feelings became much fuller and more meaningful. She not only found physical satisfaction, but also peace of mind. There is something that many older women haven't been told, a truth that, once understood, will completely change how you view your sexual health. I remember a 74-year-old patient named Frances came to see me. She hadn't cared for herself for many years, thinking that age had taken away her ability to feel anything. She felt ashamed to talk about this because she thought it wasn't important anymore at her age. In truth, she had stopped taking care of herself simply because she thought it was unnecessary. And that was when her body began to respond in ways she didn't realize. She thought that without a partner, maintaining sexual health wasn't important anymore. But here is what I want you to understand. Sexual health is not just about having a partner. It is an important part of keeping your body healthy and maintaining connection with yourself. Not using your body, especially not stimulating your genital area, can actually harm your health. Your body, like every other organ, needs movement and stimulation to maintain flexibility and vitality. And here's the truth that hardly anyone mentions. Use it or lose it. A rule that applies not only to muscles but also to your genital organs. Our bodies, especially the tissues and blood vessels in the pelvic area, will weaken if not stimulated. These mucosal tissues can thin, elasticity decreases, and without care, it can lead to vaginal dryness, reducing comfort and sensitivity. Just like exercising to keep your body toned, self-care helps keep your genital area healthy, maintaining necessary elasticity and lubrication. I know, this might sound simple, but the reality is that many women don't realize that stopping self-care can lead to unintended consequences. Frances didn't think that neglecting her body could lead to unnoticed changes until she felt she couldn't feel anything, no pleasure or satisfaction as before. She thought it was age-related, but it was actually due to inactivity. The good news is, when she started taking care of herself again, gradually, she began to notice changes, although not quickly, but clearly. Her body began responding, blood circulation was stimulated, and slowly she felt healthier. The important thing here is, don't let yourself fall into the mindset that your body is out of time just because of age. Sexual health is not just a matter of sex, it is about maintaining health and connection with yourself. Remember, if you don't maintain activity, your body will gradually lose flexibility and vitality. You can start again with the simplest things without needing a partner. It could just be moments of gentle self-care, helping you maintain a healthy, confident, and connected feeling with your body. There is one truth that many older women do not realize. The vibrator, something many consider a simple and effective solution for pleasure, may silently reduce your body's ability to feel. I recall a story I once heard from a 68-year-old woman named Barbara. She had been through a long marriage, then divorced and started living independently. She still kept the habit of using a vibrator every night, thinking it was the only way she could feel satisfied. But during a checkup, she shared with me, "Even though I still use it, I don't feel anything. It's like my body no longer responds." That's when I realized something important that not everyone knows. A vibrator can be a factor that numbs your body's natural ability to feel. As we age, our bodies become less flexible, and our nervous system becomes less sensitive than when we were young. This makes it necessary for us to require more stimulation to feel pleasure. But if you have been accustomed to using a powerful vibrator for many years, your body will slowly get used to that intense sensation. The nervous system will train to respond only to this strong stimulation, and gradually, your body will struggle to feel more subtle, natural sensations from a partner or even from yourself. That's why many older women, after using a vibrator for too long, feel disconnected from their own bodies. The small, gentle sensations no longer suffice to stimulate them. Vibrators are not bad, but the problem lies in dependence on them. Think of it like exercising. If you only exercise at a high intensity for a long period without variation, your body will no longer adapt well to lower intensities. Natural sensations will become muted and insufficient to satisfy. The same thing happens with our bodies when we only rely on one form of stimulation without changing methods. But the good news is, if you recognize this issue and decide to change, everything can improve. By temporarily reducing or stopping the use of powerful vibrators, your body will start to remember natural sensations. This is a process that requires patience and time, but I've seen many women reclaim their ability to feel gentle, natural sensations when they persistently return to simple practices. Imagine a day when you can feel the warmth and softness of your own touch, or feel happiness when you and your partner connect naturally without relying on intense stimulation methods. You don't need to depend on a tool. Your body itself can bring those wonderful sensations. The key is to give your body time to adjust. And remember, it's never too late. I remember once, during a checkup, a 75-year-old woman named Georgia sat before me, her eyes filled with concern. At the end of the checkup, she hesitantly asked, "Am I still allowed to care for myself, doctor? Am I still allowed to do those things at this age?" Her question really made me reflect. Not because it was unusual, but because I've heard this question so many times. Georgia wasn't the only one who felt ashamed or hesitant to talk about self-care in old age. Her story represents thousands of women quietly asking themselves, "Am I still allowed to feel pleasure, to love myself at this age?" But I want to be clear with you. You have the right to feel and love yourself. Masturbation is not something to be ashamed of. It's not just about sex. It's a form of self-care, a way to connect with your body, maintain health, and feel alive. As we age, our bodies change, but that doesn't mean we no longer deserve moments of satisfaction and peace. On the contrary, these moments become even more important than ever before. What I want you to understand most is that masturbation can be a very important part of maintaining health and happiness in old age. It's not an escape from aging or loneliness. It's an act of self-care, a way to keep your body healthy, maintain flexibility of tissues, improve blood circulation, and keep the pelvic area healthy. Moreover, it helps reduce anxiety, boosts mood, and improves sleep quality. You know, self-care through this act can help you live healthier, happier, because it not only soothes the body, but also soothes the soul. I recall the story of another patient who hadn't cared for herself for a long time because she thought that after her husband passed away, it wasn't necessary anymore. She stopped all these activities, thinking that she was past the age of love, satisfaction, and intimacy. But after she started again, she gradually realized that she could still feel joy, satisfaction, and connection with herself. It not only helped her improve her mood, but also made her feel much more confident and full of life. You know, at this age, self-care is extremely important. No one else but you can decide your value and happiness. Masturbation is not just a physical act. It's a statement that you are still worthy. You are still important. It helps you restore confidence and realize that no matter what age you are, you still deserve love and appreciation. Remember, your body still has the ability to feel, to love, and to enjoy the beautiful moments of life. It's never too late for you to start again. Your body can return to a healthy state, full of life, and capable of feeling joy, as long as you take time to care for it, to reconnect with yourself, and never forget that you still deserve all the best things. As you've made it this far, I hope what I've shared today has made you feel understood, reassured, and more confident. We can talk about many things in life: aging, health, the changes our bodies go through, but nothing is more important than knowing that you still have the right to love yourself, care for yourself, and feel alive, even when you reach this age. You are not the only one feeling confused or even scared when your body changes. Millions of women, just like you, have had the same questions and concerns. But what I want to emphasize is, you still deserve joy, happiness, satisfaction, and confidence. Through this journey, I know there are things that are not easy. The changes in your body, in your psychology, and sometimes the invisible fears that no one talks about. But you don't have to face them alone. That's why I want to send an important message. You are not alone. You can start again at any stage of life, as long as you give yourself time, patience, and love. Nothing is too late. The slow, gentle approach will bring wonderful results. Your sexual health and mental health are a long journey, and you can still find reconnection with yourself, rediscover joy and satisfaction that you deserve. Remember, every change in your body is a sign that you are still living, feeling, and existing. The important thing is not to lose trust in yourself. You don't need to be like before, you just need to be yourself, in the present, with everything you have. Don't let worry, shame, or the feeling of being past your prime stop you. Because once you understand that you still deserve all the good things and you can still feel happiness, life will become more beautiful than ever before. I want you to understand that every woman, no matter her age, has the right to live fully, love herself, and feel life to the fullest. Self-care is not only a right, but also an essential part of living a healthy, confident, and happy life. And I hope that what I've shared today will be a source of motivation, a reminder that you are still worthy. You still can. If today's story resonates with you, if you feel you are no longer alone on this journey, I invite you to join our community. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more useful tips on health, self-care, and living well in your later years. Here, we will explore secrets to living healthier, happier, and more fulfilled every day. Each video is a small step to help you regain confidence, vitality, and happiness. And if you found this post offering a new perspective, don't hesitate to leave a comment, share your story, or simply let me know you are here with us on this journey, because you are the one who can change your life. And I look forward to continuing to walk alongside you on this path. Remember, you can start over, not just for your body, but for your spirit and your heart. You deserve to be loved, cherished, and always find joy at every stage of life. Subscribe now, and I'll be happy to continue sharing helpful knowledge, motivational stories, helping you rise up and live more fully every day. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Wishing you a wonderful day full of joy and health.